The taste of the elite is always shifting, but the goal remains: to keep you out. Throughout my series on French sociologist Pierre Bourdieu, we've revealed in detail about how the elite use taste to distinguish themselves from regular folk. And in the comments, I was suggested by many people credentialed in the sociology space to look into the concept of cultural omnivorism by American sociologist Richard Peterson. Well, I looked into it, and boy, do I have a lot to share with you. So what is cultural omnivorism? Well, the concept emerged in the 90s when Peterson noticed a shift in how the upper class interact with culture. The old stories was they consumed highbrow culture like the opera and classical music, while the masses consumed lowbrow, country music, pop. But what Peterson found was that high-status Americans were becoming increasingly eclectic. They didn't just attend the symphony, they also liked bluegrass and rock. Meanwhile, lower status groups tended to be univores, consuming a narrower band of genres, often within popular culture. So I'm incredibly selective with the kinds of theory that I choose to share on this page, so as to not confuse everyone. But I see this as a modern evolution to the foundation that we built with Bourdieu. With Bourdieu, or the old model, the upper class drink Bordeaux or Burgundy, while the working class drink beer. A clear hierarchy. But in the omnivore evolution, the upper class still drink Bordeaux, but they also drink natural wine from Slovenia, orange wine from Georgia. They may even go to a dive bar. But don't think of this as rejecting the hierarchy, but rather adding layers to it. The new distinction becomes, I can move between worlds, and I know which lowbrow things are actually cool. The working class and petite bourgeoisie may drink the same natural wine, but they don't have the contextual knowledge to frame it properly. They don't know it's part of a movement against industrial winemaking. They don't have the vocabulary. So even when they consume the same object, their relationship to it is different. Peterson called this a shift from snob to omnivore. But why did this shift happen? Well, for many reasons, as Peterson and his collaborators proposed. But there were two theories that stood out to me. First is the expansion of higher education. In the mid-20th century, more people went to college, and there they learned about art, music, and literature. This meant high culture lost some of its utility as a boundary marker. The upper class then needed a new way to distinguish themselves. Thus, instead of just knowing high culture, they knew everything, and sheer range became the new signal of sophistication. The second reason for the shift was the rise of tolerance as an elite value. Post-1960s, especially in liberal educated circles, cosmopolitanism and openness became elite virtues. They had to perform cultural openness to signal their worldliness and moral superiority. Saying, I only like classical music made you sound rigid and out of touch. But saying, I love everything from bluegrass to folk to French pop to Afrobeat made you sound cultured and traveled and intellectually curious. Now, this is just the beginning of the concept of omnivorism, and in future videos, I plan on talking about how the elite still find ways to maintain distinction while consuming the same things as everyone else. So if you want that, please like and follow, and let me know what you think in the comments.